Look, let me guess. You've checked your bank account this week. You know you should be saving. You want to be better with money, but somehow every single month your balance goes back to almost zero. Not negative, not completely broke, just stuck. You tell yourself, once I start earning more, I'll save. Once this expense is gone, I'll get serious. Once I get past this month, things will be different. But they never are. And what's really frustrating is this. Saving your first $1,000 feels almost impossible. Yet somehow, people who already have money say things like, oh, after a while it just kind of snowballs. And that makes you feel worse, because if it's supposed to snowball, why does it feel like you're pushing a boulder uphill? Here's the thing. Your first $1,000 is actually harder than your first $100,000, and no one explains why. My name's Peter, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people who work hard still struggle to build wealth. And if you're someone who feels like they're doing everything right, working, budgeting, trying to save, but your money just never seems to stick, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're going to break down exactly why the beginning is so brutally hard, and why once you cross a certain line, money suddenly starts working with you instead of against you. Challenging the common belief. Most people believe this. The more money you have, the harder it is to make more. That sounds logical, but it's completely backwards. In reality, making your first $1,000 is harder than making your first $100,000. Not because rich people are smarter, not because they're luckier, and not because they know secrets. It's because the rules of money change once you pass a certain point. And to understand that, we need to talk about math and psychology. Why the first $1,000 is so hard, the real reason. Let's start with the obvious problem. 1. You're fighting survival expenses. If you're trying to save your first $1,000, chances are rent takes a huge chunk of your income, groceries are non-negotiable, transportation isn't optional, utilities, phone bills, internet, those are fixed. According to data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average household spends over 60% of their income on necessities alone. That means before you even think about saving, most of your money is already gone. So saving $1,000 doesn't come from extra money. It comes from sacrifice, and sacrifice is hard to sustain. 2. There is no momentum yet. Here's what most people don't realize. Money has momentum. When you have $0 saved, every dollar you put away feels pointless. Saving $50 feels like nothing. Saving $100 feels slow. Saving $300 still doesn't feel safe. There's no emotional reward. Psychologists call this delayed gratification fatigue. Your brain hates working hard when the payoff feels far away, which is exactly why most people quit right before they build momentum. 3. Emergencies reset you to zero. This is the most brutal part. You finally save $600. Then your car breaks down, or you get a medical bill, or something unexpected happens, and suddenly you're back to zero. According to Federal Reserve data, nearly 37% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money. So every time you make progress, life punches you in the face, and your brain starts learning this dangerous lesson. Why even bother saving? Something always goes wrong. Now this is where it gets really interesting. The hardest part about your first $1,000 isn't math, it's identity. When you don't have savings, your brain labels you as someone who struggles with money. And once that identity forms, every financial decision reinforces it. You spend because I deserve it, or it's only $20, or I'll start next month. Not because you're irresponsible, but because your brain is trying to protect your current identity. Changing that identity takes repeated proof, and that proof only starts showing up after the first $1,000. Now, let's fast forward. Someone already has $10,000 saved. Suddenly, everything changes. 1. Money starts making money. Let's do simple math. If you invest $10,000 and earned a modest 7% return, that's $700 a year. At $10,000, that's $7,000 a year. That's money showing up without extra work. Your effort is no longer the only engine. 2. Emergencies stop destroying you. When you have savings, emergencies become inconveniences, not disasters. Car repair? You pay it and move on. Medical bill? Annoying, but manageable. And because emergencies stop resetting you to zero, progress becomes permanent. 3. Your identity changes. This is the biggest shift. Once you have money saved, you stop thinking, can I afford this? And start thinking, is this worth it? That single question changes everything. Spending becomes intentional, saving becomes automatic, and investing stops feeling scary. Addressing the objection. Now you might be thinking, that's great, Peter, but I can't even get to $1,000. Good, because this is the part that actually helps. How to get your first $1,000. Practical steps. Step 1. Shrink the goal. Stop trying to save $1,000. Your real goal is $100, then $300, then $600. Your brain needs wins, not perfection. Step 2. Automate a tiny amount. Even $25 per paycheck matters. Automation removes decision fatigue. You don't debate it. You don't negotiate with yourself. It just happens. Step 3. Protect your progress. Your first $1,000 is not for investing. It's for defense. Put it somewhere boring, hard to access, but safe. This fund exists for one reason: to stop life from resetting you to zero. Step 4. Change the story you tell yourself. Every time you save, even a little, say this: I'm someone who saves money. It sounds stupid, but your brain listens. The big picture: here's the truth most people never hear. If you can get to your first $1,000, you've already done the hardest part. Not because of the money, but because you've proven to yourself that you can delay gratification, you can survive small discomfort, and you can build momentum. And once momentum exists, money stops being the enemy. Look, nobody posts about their first $1,000. It's not glamorous, it's not impressive, and it doesn't make you feel rich. But it's the foundation everything else is built on. So if you're struggling right now, you're not failing. You're just at the hardest part. And if this video helped you understand why, hit the like button, subscribe for more simple, honest money explanations, and let me know in the comments, do you have a current savings goal? Because once you get past that first $1,000, the game changes.